Well, hey everybody, it's HeapCVA. Welcome to my channel. Glad to be back. I hope you're glad too. If you're not, I kind of understand after being gone for a couple of weeks without anything coming up. Oh, some of the stories I could tell, but I'm not going to. Sorry for the noise in the microphone. I poked myself in the ear. I got to get used to doing this all over again. No worries. Anyway, welcome to EmergeNYC episode, 18? Holy cow. Was not in the state, quite honestly, to see multiplayer added and the changes made. So I've been fooling with this all day. I realized that there are some significant changes made, and some of those changes actually have affected my ability to play the game as I've been used to playing it. Tech demo, not game. For what now? Several months. Not helping me. I will point to, what do they want to call it? Update 0.3.2 and the hotfix, which is 0.3.2b, which you see on the screen. I kind of want to talk real quick about what I'm seeing and experiencing, both the positive and the negative. I mean, it's going to happen. It's still in alpha, early alpha, but some of the photographs, amazing. If you're looking at their news, their new updated forum on their website, Facebook. I didn't check Twitter, but I could just imagine. Plus, good old Steam. The photos are unbelievable. Some of the stuff I've seen from people playing multiplayer, pretty cool. I expect it to be baby steps. I never expected it to be foot race to get from the beginning, which was not much of anything, to where we are right this minute, and to get to the end at the finish line when this is a real game and it's finished. So let's talk about a couple things real quick before I go in. And some of this I'm sure you know, because you've had a 2-week jump start on me. But as I get into this and learn some of the things, I'm excited about a couple things. I'm just kind of shaking my head about some other things, just trying to figure out what's going on and what I can do to change it. Now, one thing I had read is you can no longer change your game settings while in the game, and that I'm talking about the hotfix here. I can only have one up at a time because, well, maybe I can get away with it, but it'll probably, I'm not going to touch it because it'll drop this game screen to the taskbar. He fixed some things in the hotfix, but you can't change your settings inside the game. And that's what I used to do. I never used this cog, gear, whatever you want to call it, before I started playing. I hope they continue to work on the settings, because if we go into this cog, there's not a lot to choose from. Compared to what I had before and the opportunities I have very little to look at right this minute. Now, AF, always I disable. I'm at X2. I don't have VSync on because I'm over at 144 hertz. I had to change my resolution. The first time I played it, I didn't realize it had taken me down to 800 by 600. Volume's right in the middle, but you can see this thing is still broken too. Whatever. So let me close this out. So give me a quick second and let me bump this into the play mode, and we'll talk about that a little bit. So give me just a second. I'll be right back. Wow, you guys can't hear that, but that just blew my eardrums out. Because they moved the volume to that thing. So you notice in the upper right hand corner, there's no gear up there for me to change in the thing. So I can't adjust the volume in game, which makes no sense to me at all. I know they're trying different things. Notice the weather customization thing is gone. The FPS thing is gone. You don't get to see your FPS anymore, which bums me out. And so I'm in the lowest video setting, if you remember. And so here we are in the usual place, which is really the north side of town, but we're looking south. And as I back out, the first thing I want to tell you, I'm amazed at the sheer volume of visual improvements that have been made in the cityscape. Not everything is in yet, but some of the things he's done is amazing. And I read his comments about, it's better to have buildings with just a skin on them, not necessarily anything functional, but better than the big white box. And he knew that all along. He took a pretty good beating. He even talked about that in the negative comments. It's going to happen. And I'm glad he's taking it the way he is, because I've seen other software makers take it a little too personal, and at the end of the day just auger in and they walk away from their project. So as we fly through, you're seeing 50% more buildings, if not more. It definitely slows things down. It's just something we'll have to get used to as he slowly optimizes everything. It's going to be a slow process just for the sheer volume of things that are in this game, even compared to Notrif 112. They have a pretty good sized map, but look at a lot of its parks and trees and simple things. It's not like this is. So we're cruising through. There's the squads deal. Notice that the Statue of Liberty is out in the well, it's not really water, because at this setting it doesn't really look like water. I guess if I was closer I'd see it. I'm very happy to see that. I noticed there's some additional buildings down here by what I call the courthouse. I must be inside of a building. A lot of things going on down here. So those are all good things. How can you hate this part of it? And it's just going to get better. Now, I'll have to tell you right now, and until further notice, this is probably what I'm going to do. I'm not turning on traffic. Now, I'm speaking about this game from a single player point of view. I know the multiplayer is live. I know a lot of people are excited about it. There's been a lot of good comments, except for maybe the people that are playing on a Mac. And I'm not going to go into that. I'm just going to say they're not just generally not that happy. I'm not there yet. It's one of the questions I want to ask you guys. If you think if I should be firing that up and putting it out there for some of you, my subscribers on my channel, to try putting together at least one or two group plays, both recorded and then live. Like I said, I'm still not a big fan of what YouTube offers for live streaming. I do have a Twitch account. I may go to that. I've got to make sure my computer's able to deal with this. I'm still watching some other videos to get some information. As you can tell, I'm kind of a chicken. And what can I tell you? Anyway, so that's the scene. So one of the extra things they added was now when you make this bigger, and then we're far away, and unfortunately it doesn't zoom in on the map till you get much closer. Is now they indicate when there's an alarm. So you'll see the bell up here in the upper right hand corner. If you click on it, it will tell you what's going on. So it says 3rd floor commercial. It's not giving me a location. So I've got to find that out. And there's not a whole lot of ways of doing that. Another point, because things are going to happen while we're fooling around with this and talking, and I'm going to mention them as I see them. The time system in this tech demo, look at the smoke and fire showing already. So what's this street called? West End Avenue. I do have a map. I did download the latest map, so I do sort of know where I'm at. And let me see if I can look at it and figure it out. So West End, let's see if we can get a cross street here. About 50, I can't really see it because it's upside down, but I think I know who's going to go to that first. So is the time goes way too fast. You can hear the guys that are playing in multiplayer, they're going crazy because before the engines get out of the barn, so to speak, it's already one of the things I was worried about. I've shut off every program that I could shut off. Well, this will be an easy one to get to, that's for sure. Now, I didn't turn any traffic on yet. Let's just see how this goes. Look how fast time is going. It'll be midnight before we get on scene. So if we stop and we look up, we got fire showing out of this 3rd story. I would call us a taxpayer, not being from New York. No hydrants. So we'll just have to say that there's a hydrant. All right, let's get Squad 9's, or Rescue 9 is right there. It's their first in as well. Now, I love the call thing. I didn't, oops, man, I just mashed that car. That's what I get. I didn't hear any radio chatter. Now, it could have just been me, because theoretically we're actually too far away. And I don't have a siren on Rescue 9. That was kind of weird. So we're going to park over here. Get these guys out of the barn, out of there. I got to get used to doing this again. I'm a little rusty. I apologize. So that's there. So my guess is 30 and 75. This is a all hands, or a working fire. 1075, I think, is the word you would listen to. That would be assuming this is the only incident that we respond to. And you and I know it won't be. So as we're going down here, again, we're already in the dark again. It's just something we're going to have to get used to. Man, is that loud to me. It won't be loud to you. So I'm going to cut away, and I'll talk to you again when 30's coming up on scene. Well, here we are. And 30's going to come down and catch this hydrant, which is just around the corner here. Alright, obviously we've got 75 waiting for us. I notice that I get a frame or two more when I zoom out on a vehicle. Notice that the rear lights are not working on the ladder truck right this minute. Don't know what that's all about, but this is only like my third or fourth response. So cut me a break, would you? I'm just excited that things are slowly wearing. You notice a little bit of slowdown. You'll see a little bit of micro stuttering. It is something I wasn't used to. With all of fire apparatus out on an incident, and I had at one point I had 4 incidents working. You can imagine how thin I was spread out, because we only have what is basically one first alarm response to a structure fire, and that's not a very spectacular one. So notice that the truck is slowing down. Now I got my finger mashed down on the deal, so we're going to stop him right about. I want to get out just a little bit. Come on, get out from behind that building. Some of the things I have to do. You can't, notice he's rolling because I don't have control of him. There we go. One of the things that I'll have to put on my list, there are so many people putting things down now for flip switch to deal with, that I'm not necessarily as worried as I normally would be about whether or not I actually get a letter dropped off to them, because quite honestly, the forum is choked with all of the stuff going on right now. Now, as you can tell, you really can't figure out where. Now that's as arced as high as it can go, and the looks like the only thing you can do is I believe if we zoomed out and we get all the way out, you'll notice that I have literally punched the tip of the building into the, and that's a pretty good spot right there. That really actually surprises me. So these guys are going to do some work. So that's them. You know, we've got to have 49. We got, you know, our 2 ladders plus a fast unit. I think that's what it's called. And I don't have my notes in front of me, so if I say something stupid, just let me know in the comments. Now I want to see if we can get to the point where I really start getting some stuttering, and you're already starting to see it just a skosh. Now it does help that I shut off. You can see the kind of chugga 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 visual See, there's another call right there. That's a smoke. Ooh, that's what I get for looking down at the incident. I'm going to start getting an issue where I will lose control of steering. Yeah, some of it's my fault. Some of it is the lag will kick in and play me pretty good. And so let me cut away and we'll come back when 49's approaching the incident. All right, here we go. 49's on scene. What I've been doing too is just quieting some of the rigs down. You think, well, that doesn't make any sense. It makes everything silent. Yeah, it does, but I'm trying to get FPS where I can get it. I hate that I can't see the top of this. I guess I could go into first person, but I didn't really want to do that. So 68's going to go. Technically, ladder 68.6 because it's a working fire. And I imagine the company officer is saying that control is doubtful at this time. They've said they're 1075s. They'll get some more vehicles rolling. Obviously, we don't have nearly the number of units that we would need for an incident of this magnitude, especially on a second floor. If it extends, if it stays to one apartment, if that's one apartment that's going in there, that's good. That's a 3 engine and 2 truck incident. I'm okay with that. Now 49 went up the one side, and I'm going to see if I can bring 68's up. Notice the sun's rising, which doesn't help me at all. You can see that the fire's going, but you know that that would be going against traffic, and we're so far away you couldn't really do that. So all of the things that I spent time learning as far as FDNY goes, as far as radio traffic and stuff like that, I've already forgotten it all. It's one of those things I'm going to have to relearn 500,000 times over. You can see the micro stutters starting again. It's just something I'm going to have to get used to as they do the things that they're doing to it. And yeah, I should have cut away and said, you know, we'll come back when we get a little closer to scene, but I was yakking, so, you know, what can I tell you? You know, you just really got to settle down and slow down. And what makes this one fairly easy for them is they can come right in here. And we'll have to spin this a certain way because I don't want to catch that. You know, it's sunny again because it's taken us so long to I think I'm going to go this way. That way I can spin this around. think I'll swing out just a skosh. If we're going to have a reason to do that, then we'll be close enough, trust me. As you can see, that bucket is actually 10 feet away. If the fire's blowing out of there and they're going to do that, that'd be fine. If we were going to get a little closer, it looks like I can't just click on the rig. I'm going to have to select it. I'm up here. We can get right to here. That way they could go in through the windows and go that way. That keep them a little safer. So let me drop out of control of that. You can see I got some stuff going on here. It helps having the rescue. That keeps me from having to drag the squad down here. You know, I do have this other alarm. I have no... It's smoke in a manhole cover. Let's see if we can... I bet you it's 32's first in. You can see a little bit of jumping. Oh, see, notice it made me drive right through that vehicle. You can see I'm starting to drop down into the single digit frames. I'm so bummed about that. My computer should handle this game a whole lot better, and the fact that it's not doesn't necessarily make me happy. I'm going against traffic because there are no hydrants around here to speak of. So we're going to go right here. So I'm going to pull up just a skosh. So they'll do that. Let's get... we need to get the battalion chief where it needs to be. Now, as you can see, steering is terribly non-responsive now. And this is where things kind of see the stuttering. It's not micro stuttering anymore. It is major stuttering. And there's nothing I can do about it. I've shut every program down that I didn't need, even my antivirus, etc. Just trying to gain any level of frames from my computer. See it? I mean, I'm literally having to, you know, I'm not even accelerating. It's just, I normally wouldn't show you this stuff, but I want you guys to see this. I want you to see where we're at. And it goes back to something I said in my last video before I left. From my family thing, is I wanted to know how a single player was going to feel as Flip Switch kind of transitioned into the focus on multiplayer. I'm barely touching the keys, just trying to keep him from flipping over or whatever he would do. I honestly don't even know. I think I pretty much have the answer to that. Now, I'm not angry because I know he'll come back to focus on single player again. I'm pretty sure of it. But in the interim, this is going to be the single player life. And that's why I'm wondering if multiplayer would play better and with a few subscribers, and I'm not even sure how their multiplayer works. You know, I've got to look. I haven't even seen. Every game does their thing a little different. So again, I shut the motor off on that. So I think that's enough for this incident. Obviously we'd have another truck here, but you know, we can use the rescue as that third truck. 3 engines on here. There would be a fourth, and probably, you know, another truck is the fast. Like I said, the what on the West Coast we call a RIT team, rapid inner something team. Sorry, my mind went blank, and what can I tell you? So, and we popped a third incident. So that smoke in a restaurant, and I got the truck left. So let's fire up the ladder. I didn't really see what the address was. I got to go real slow to make up for the amount of lag that I'm getting. So 49th and 8th. At least it's relatively close. Obviously, we'd be pulling. Wow, I feel like a drunk driving with the way that the thing is working right this minute. I forgot what I was going to say because I'm so flabbergasted. And I still have the squad, which will probably go with the truck. But I can only drive one thing at a time. That is an upside to drive to creating a group. Is having the additional people to drive. Looks like we're almost going to the same place. So we should be here shortly. 49th is down a ways. I wish I could look up higher. That is one of the things about this. I'd like to kind of look a little more. I need to see the vehicle a little bit, and I guess I just can't find a happy medium. Like I said, it's going to take me a couple of days to really nail down. Sounds like we found it. So I go up over the curb because it's not responding to my steering at all. So he's gonna check that out. We'll bump the squad out. Beans are right there. And this gets all the rigs on, and you can see, I don't know, like I said, I would love to see how the multiplayers, are they seeing this kind of thing? I know I'm beginning to hate my computer, and it's not that old. So, but you can see that stuttering, that's what I call it. You might call it something else. I'm not even using the siren, for crying out loud, because, you know, I want every frame I can get my hands on for what I'm already doing. Now, one thing I don't know, and somebody could, if somebody knows, leave me something in the comments, is after you respond to one of these incidents, does it eventually go away? Now, I watched one video, but it was before the hotfix, and so I don't know, does the incident eventually resolve itself and you can quit? And it's, God help me if I had to back into the station at this point, let me tell you. So we'll shut the engine off on that. That just gets it a little quieter. So I got everything out that I can get. We're not too far away from our structure fire. Ooh, did you see that? I apologize for that. It really is going crazy. And I didn't mean to do that to you. I really didn't. But it wants to do it, and I don't seem to have any control over it. I'll get closer. Obviously, we'd have more vehicles there. One other thing that I can tell you right now is, now I haven't actually tried to spawn this, but if in fact I spawned something, I couldn't tell you where it was. If you spawn a police vehicle, no clue if I'm actually getting anything or not. So that fire looks like it's going to burn for a while. I would have at least another ladder and another engine on it. But I don't have them. I don't have any of that stuff. Anyway, the spinning on this is just so crazy, and I'll turf it off to FPS issues. So this is my first shot at doing this with a little bit of practice. You can see the kind of the video issues that I'm having. I'm not, like I said, I'm not angry. It does have a tendency to drive you crazy sometime, but I flip that over and say, amazing scenery. I have multiple incidents going on in my jurisdiction for a single player that I can't handle. If we can, hopefully they're going to tackle some of these issues that they're getting. There's pages and pages of things people are asking to fix or address. Lots of positive comments after the multiplayer was put out. I kind of anticipated that. Definitely not surprised. But you can also tell that the people that aren't multiplayer fans are upset because they don't feel like they were walked away from, just that we're spending so much time on multiplayer, but we haven't nailed down the basics of the operation of what will be a game. I am on the fence about that. I kind of lean towards what they're saying because I'm mostly a single player. So it is what it is. And I think we'll call it. Let me move out here just a little bit and I'll zoom in. If I can get a decent shot of this. That looks pretty good. I like that. We'll leave it right at here. If you have the tech demo and you're doing this, I'd love to see what you're thinking about what's going on. If you think that I should look at doing some multiplayer and opening it up to some of the folks that are subscribed to my channel, let me know about that in the comments. I'd really appreciate it. And with that being said, thank you so much for coming by my channel again. Thanks for your patience while I was gone for almost 2 weeks. I'm glad to be back. I needed to do what I did. It was very positive. Things are improving on the medical front. I've got one test here coming up, excuse me, next Tuesday. Hopefully that'll come back positive, and it'll just be an adjustment in medication, and things will be okay again. If you have any comments or questions about this particular version or number 18, I can't think of the word. Oh, see, and this is what happens if you don't do this constantly. My brain just kicks it out of the way so it can learn something else. If you have any comments about the game, the tech demo, the multiplayer, single player, let me know in the comments. If you don't have anything to say, can't think of any comments or anything that you want to post, at least leave me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Lets me know if I'm doing it halfway good. I'm not very impressed with what I got going on right this minute, but I'll get better, I promise you. And at the end of the day, you all know, if you've been here before, and even if you haven't, you may have heard the rumor, I can pretty much guarantee you I'll see you in the next video. It's almost a lock. And hope you're having a good day or good evening wherever you're on the planet. You're getting to do or got to do everything you wanted to do in your day. And that being said, we'll all talk to each other in the next video. Have a great week.